do not enter this world a blank slate. The echoes of memories we feel are true but belong to others haunt our youth. We recall the lives of great men and women, and the hardened souls of adult cocoons condescend, stealing from our imaginations our recollections of lives past and future. We grow slowly, an ancient world having become new all over again, as the gossamer thread of a soul's past journeys are clouded into uncertainties that set like suns of doubt and bring the night of disbelief. When young, the world makes us forget how old we truly are. As we grow into our new avatars, we experience the past that lies just beyond the veil through spells of imagination that hide from their true forms as memory. We speak of castles, gates, voyages, great deeds, and lives lived well. We are small and ignored in a world full of calcified carcasses, whose avatars have become containers rather than the conduits they were designed to be. We grow into a world designed to make the immortal believe in death, to fear, a realm where pleasures reinforce the importance of the avatar over the personality within. As we move forward through the construct, the world teaches us to shed our innocence, to discard our faith in fairy tales as we are offered the deceitful phantoms of ghost writers, responsible for weaving spells called science, religion, and dark sayings disguised as doublespeak, the utterances of modern demons deigning to divorce souls from their immortalhood. We are blinded immortals made to grow into the blame for a world that had fallen long before we made entrance. In this photo negative of a real reality, in this false maelstrom of phenomena we call home, we are deceived, blinded, misled, conditioned, indoctrinated, and led down paths of corruption, roads paved like the march of a Roman victory on bricks mortared of vice. But we are guilty of nothing the chains of religion or dungeon jewelry the living dead wear in pride, as they march toward conveyances that whiplash their souls back to previous epochs, where they must grow, learn, and awaken from their illusions. The process of awakening is as complex as those who emerge from this painted darkness. We are souls saturated with programming serving to shelve us both as merchandise and merchants, to induce us to give our avatar an identity apart from the immortal within. We are taught to be the man, to be the woman, to be the very actor that makes every place a stage and every observer an audience. This world seeks to separate the soul from the self by empowering the identity of the avatar. It is this assault against the immortal within that children struggle against, this loss of innocence, this oppression over potential that forces a soul to choose between absolutes and abstracts. But we are multifaceted beings, each aspect of our divine personality moored to the timeless fabric of the immortal within, who is connected to Source. We are extensions of the Oversoul, and believe we are one thing and not another is tantamount to denying the deity within. As unending sparks from the eternal fire, our immortality is exhibited in the many personages we have been, we are, and who we will be. The temporal journey of a single soul merely wears this avatar garment as they flow through the experiences of the construct, but the avatar nor the field of energies that forms the dungeon dressings of this reality can hold power over the truly awakened soul. The soul that begins to awaken has grown in realization that to accuse another soul is not only to accept the same fate, to pigeonhole an orator as a prophet or a dark profiteer, is only to absorb the very energies of the accusation. The awakened soul is one that has returned to that innocence of youth, boundless potential, depth of emotion, and endless imagination. The awakened being exults in the feeling of freedom from within the avatar, the emerging knowledge that all aid from the oversoul was never to be found in things that are seen and heard, but from within. The awakened is the soul that has found the bottomless pit of bounty, energy, and spiritual empowerment was always accessed from within, and that each soul is a portal to the absolute. The awakened immortal laughs at the trickeries of Loki, seeing now that parables are falsities transmuted into facts by the immortal within. We are the Brahma of many faces, each as true as the others. We are a family of immortals awakening in numbers as more souls have their eyes opened, not by acuity or learning, but by the will of the oversoul. The construct ages, its malfunctioning perceived in the manifold anomalies. The synchronicities now appearing unfiltered, the deja vu and Mandela effects of a deconstructing construct in advanced stages of a coming reset protocol. The soul awakening is a force felt through the entire field, and their names are known beyond the construct. While within, these immortals break free of dungeon realms designed as pillowed paradises for the sleeping masses. Our avatars are labeled, tagged, some marked as champions, healers, teachers, and some sealed with scarlet letters the world assigns in its attempts to shame them into silence. Avatars are as diverse as their inhabitants. Some are hideous and old, regarded as monstrous or forgotten by the sleeping masses, yet possessing spiritual titans who have mastered their coordinates through the construct. Our avatars come in many forms and guises, and the magnificence of the souls within remain unseen to the living dead. Some of us in this incarnation are fortunate to make contact with avatars hauntingly beautiful, their beauty matched only by the breathless realization of an equally gorgeous soul within. Beauty of both avatar and spirit is evidenced of a soul that has suffered through trials, endured scars, and traversed paths not usually taken by other spirits. When two souls connect, it is because they have shared the same histories in spirit, though separated in avatars. The awakened immortal has broken free of the accusers, of the shepherds that serve to guide unwary spirits into the pens of politics, religion, and culture. The knight errant goes their own way, walks unfrequented paths, and goes by paths unknown. The world sees such individuals as outcasts, unworthy to participate in the whims of the world. The living dead cannot see that the act of defining others only serves to impose those definitions upon themselves. The accusers claiming one to be a Christian actually refuses to accept everything else that soul is as well. To accuse one of being a mystic dismisses the other facets such a gem possesses. To identify another soul as any particular is to deny them their many other attributes. The knight errant is a creatrix who forges her own paths through the field. She builds her Elysium and lives her truth as the simulacrum obeys her dictates. She is a soul that refuses to have others' interpretations of reality imposed upon her, and this fortitude is rewarded by the oversoul. The knight errant is a man with an idea so alien to the sleeping masses that it actually wakens up many of them. Regardless of the armies of opposers, this soul forges through the breach effortlessly as the simulacrum builds his imaginative musings from the field to the physical. I am Jason. I am who I choose to be. I am an immortal being having a temporal experience, and the source of all my own personal calamities is due to a soaring spirit possessed of imagination, of boundless intuition, and spells of empathy. I exhibit these qualities in every echelon of my existence, and I have expended my life in the education of those few souls who dare to be touched by the divine, to remember who they are. Who I am and who I claim to be is evidenced in what happens in the lives of those who assail me. Dedicated to a holy work, my presence, my teachings, the knowledges I have excavated from the treasuries of history have pulled out the dark souls, one by one, as they have uttered venomous animus at my person, at my work, at my community, and in every case they have regretted it. Against immense odds, the Oversoul provided the path, and I merely walked it. I may have begun this journey alone, but in this trek across the Similosphere, many of you ancient souls have joined me, and together we have grown this community. Let us not view this voyage as an end, but a beginning. Archaics, advanced research of chronological history of artificial intelligence X is where we come together, and through our solidarity, we slowly pluck kindred souls from the fire. The sight behind my eyes then sees that there is no unknowns, only an I don't know. I can find no secrets unreachable, only I see those who refuse to reach. There is no darkness, only there are those who've lost their light. At the end of my journey, I grew tired. The world had lost its spark. This dungeon of the demiurge was no longer a place I sought to stay. And when I made up my mind that it was time to go, Loki laughed at me.